Well, hello and thanks for joining us. Today I've got Jerry Kelly of the Sovereign Group talking to me all about those pension products called QROPS, and a complex area it is too. So to explain a little more about QROPS, welcome Jerry Kelly. Thanks very much. Nice to see you. Throughout 2012 there was a lot of publicity, wasn't there, about QROPS, and not all of it positive. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about what started the publicity and what actually happened in the end.
Okay. HMRC in the UK introduced new regulations in 2012, mainly to do with treating residents and non-residents of jurisdictions the same for tax purposes when they received income from their QROPS. That meant that Guernsey fell foul of the regulations, and basically Guernsey, a lot of the schemes were taken off the HMRC list.
So those were lists, they were on the list, but then they came off the list.
They were on the list and then they came off.
Right.
That also affected schemes in New Zealand, Isle of Man and Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, Guernsey schemes are now ring-fenced. Everything is fine. Any money that's gone in there beforehand is all perfect. But from 6th of April 2012, no new business can go into Guernsey.
So no new ones for Guernsey. But I understand that both Malta and Gibraltar are both good jurisdictions for QROPS. Is that right? And if so, would one be better than the other, or does it depend on other things?
Gibraltar was reintroduced to the list in mid-2012. Malta has been on the list for quite a while. Both excellent jurisdictions, along with New Zealand and Isle of Man, but I would say Malta and Gibraltar are the two best. As regards differences, Gibraltar has a 2.5% tax on income drawdown. Malta depends on a tax treaty that Malta has with the jurisdiction of the residence of the member. So, for instance, if a member is resident in Spain, and Spain has a tax treaty with Malta. So the member then gets their income tax-free from Malta.
So sometimes Malta's going to be the right answer, and sometimes Gibraltar's going to be the right answer.
Absolutely.
As always, advice is going to be important.
Indeed.
So turning to Sovereign's capability then, can Sovereign do Malta QROPS and Gibraltar QROPS, or is it limited to just the one?
Sovereign have products in both Malta and Gibraltar, so we can offer both jurisdictions, and we also offer a free transfer between the two. So if you've got a resident who moves from one jurisdiction to another and feels that Malta might be more beneficial than his Gibraltar scheme, we can move the scheme.
So the client has the choice.
Absolutely.
That's good. And clients' advisors, though, of course, may not be local to Malta. They may not be local to Gibraltar. Are they obliged then to come to the Gibraltar office or come to the Malta office, or can they go elsewhere? So, for example, an advisor based in the Middle East or maybe Southeast Asia, how would they work?
Well, it's one of the beauties of Sovereign. We have 25 offices, so they can go to any of our offices. Alex is our man in Dubai, Andy Galway in Singapore, Yusuf in Hong Kong, Karina in South Africa. They can go to any one of those and speak, as well as coming to the office here in Gibraltar or Malta to talk about the products.
Excellent, and all of these advisors can speak about both products interchangeably.
Absolutely,
depending on the client.
Absolutely.
Well, that all sounds very positive. It is, however, a complex area, and another 5-letter acronym that I've heard, and I don't really know much about, is QNUPS, and I think that's QNUPS. But is that the same as QROPS? Are they all the same? All QNUPS are QROPS, or
QNUPS are qualifying non-UK pension schemes, and new regulations came in the UK in 2010. So it's quite new, but it is quite different from QROPS. QNUPS can take non-UK tax-relieved pension funds or funds, whereas a QROP can only receive UK tax-relieved pension funds.
So it's all about whether tax relief has been given on the pensions or not.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
It's all about pensions and all about planning for the future.
Indeed.
Thank you very much indeed for coming to speak to us. That certainly explained it rather more clearly. So there we are. QROPS, QNUPS. It's a complex area and one that certainly needs some advice. Clearly, Sovereign Group can provide that advice both in Malta and Gibraltar. So for more information, why don't you look at the website www.sovereigngroup.com or contact one of the local offices all around the world, as Jerry mentioned. Thanks for watching.